So, dear friend, when you see someone else, what is your first thought? How can this person help me, or how could I help this person? I want to share with you a story which hopefully could give us the right perspective. 75 years ago from this Shabbos is the Yartzeit, the anniversary of the passing of the first Chabad Rebbe. A year later, the Rebbe assumed the leadership of Chabad, not because the Rebbe asked for it, but because the whole community asked the Rebbe to take upon himself to be the next Rebbe of Chabad. And the Rebbe charged our generation with the mission of finishing the tasks of Jewish history, of bringing godliness to the world and bringing the ultimate redemption. So we have a big mission on hand, and we are all part of it to make this happen. Here is a story that I want to share of a story with the Rebbe. There's thousands of stories, thousands of teachings, and I was thinking, what can I share? And I thought something that would have a practical message to every one of us. So here it goes. In the 1980s, there was an individual that had a few urgent matters that wanted to talk to the Rebbe. He was not part of the Chabad community, and he asked around, when could I meet the Rebbe? At that time, it would take a very long time to meet the Rebbe. So someone told him, the Rebbe walks out of his house in the morning and goes to 770, the Chabad headquarters. If you could catch the Rebbe on the way, you could talk to the Rebbe, and most probably he'll respond to you. That is most probably the expedited way of speaking to the Rebbe. Well, sure enough, he shows up right before the time the Rebbe would leave to 770, and he approached the Rebbe, spoke to the Rebbe for a few minutes, and got the answers to all these questions. He was so happy, except a few minutes later, two Chabad yeshiva boys go over to him and start screaming at him and saying, how can you do this? Waste the Rebbe's time. The Rebbe has a schedule. The Rebbe has so much responsibilities, and you're stopping the Rebbe on his way. Now he feels terrible. He writes a letter to the Rebbe and apologizes. The Rebbe asked to send a message to the principal of the school, to send two messages to this boy that charged this guy, and said, number one, this was the middle of the time of learning. What are you doing on President Street? Number two, the Baal Shem Tov teaches us that the soul comes down in the world for 70, 80 years just to do one favor for one person. Perhaps my soul came down here in the world just to do a favor for that Jew. Think about it. The Rebbe met thousands of people, thousands of interactions, but every interaction was as if that is his sole purpose in the world. Could you imagine that when we saw a person, we saw a Jew, we thought, maybe my soul is here for this moment? How powerful is that? How much would we take advantage to be there for another person? And really that moment is the reason why I'm here, and that moment could change the world for the good. Shabbat Shalom. All the best.